The divisional previews are brought to you by Chinook Seedery, the best seeds ever. Use our promo code CoachesSonsPod at checkout to get 10% off. On to the show.
Hit it.
Welcome to the Coach's Sons podcast. My name is Andrew.
And I'm Chris.
And this is our divisional series previews. Today, we are going to talk about the AL West. Chris, your beloved Mariners are here.
They are. I've been waiting for this one.
Are you excited?
I am.
Okay, good.
I am.
So let's not bury the lead. Chris, Mariners are going to win the division, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can't not have them first.
I love
right?
it. I love it. Okay.
But I am willing to
Take that homer
hear
route.
out. I am willing to hear out what we've got in this one. You're not just hearing me only talk.
Yes.
I got out of my little our as you call it echo chamber. So we do have a preview from someone else. So I'm willing to hear them out.
Okay.
But you're going to be hard pressed to take me off of them winning.
That makes sense. Okay, so you've got Mariners number one. Who do you have finishing last in this division?
Angels.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Even lower than the Sacramento A's.
The Athletics.
The Athletics,
sir.
yes.
No, yes. I don't think the Angels are good. Yes, they have Mike Trout. Hope he's healthy. That would be awesome for baseball. Fun to watch. And then I hope he sucks against the Mariners, but that doesn't happen.
Yep.
They made additions, but they're just like Kikuchi, Soler, Jensen, Travis Darn. They're just like oddball moves. So it seems they by name, you're like, oh, they got him. Like, okay, but I don't trust them, and I think the A's got a lot better. That's not to say they're going to be ahead of the Rangers, Astros, or Mariners, but it could be enough for fourth in the division and make a case to improvement. I don't know. I'm looking at fan graphs right now. Their projected win total is 76.3, which is a 7-win improvement over last season.
The A's or the Angels?
The A's.
A's, okay.
The Angels have their projected win total is 75, and that would be 12 wins better than last year. Mm-hmm. So they almost lost 100 games last year.
Yeah.
And yeah, again, they got better, I suppose, but so did the A's. And I think the A's have more staying power as far as who they have and who they've added. I think the Angels, it's going to be a fight for the bottom. How about that?
Yeah. I mean, I think you're right.
You want to put the Athletics there?
It's hard not to put the Athletics there, if I'm being quite honest with you.
Yeah.
I think that they've got a lot of young talent that you should be excited about. I think, obviously, not young talent, but Brent Rooker is legit. I think that their catcher Shane Langeliers, he's from Atlanta, Atlanta Elk. He's a very talented player. So they've got pieces. Urshela at third is okay. Not liking.
You're
much.
missing a lot of guys.
I mean,
but that's okay. I'll let you ride.
They've got Ruiz, who's fast as hell, which I love stolen bases. But obviously, but you look over at the Angels, and the Angels, it's not much better over there, right? You've got obviously Trout at the top. Jensen's there to close out games now. Logan O'Hoppe, who I think is pretty good at catcher as well. They now have Travis d'Arnaud, who we know I love him. Moncada, I don't really feel like that
stinks.
Yeah, he's not good, but he's an upgrade from Rendon, if you want to be honest.
Well, who isn't?
So Zach Neto, who I like a good bit. Joe Adele's,
yep.
And Soler will forever live in my brain.
He's the major league name. I have no
Yeah.
problem with him. You're not going to be like, oh, we got Soler. What an awful move. You're like, all right, you have Soler. You have a little pop in the line.
Yeah, I just think the Angels have more pop. Like, if there's a series like the best of 7, I think the Angels win 4-3. You know what I mean? Like, so okay. I think you're right. It's a race to the bottom, but I'm gonna say Athletics. But I can be convinced otherwise that it could be the Angels winning the division. I do like the Mariners. I do, but I'm probably going to default to the Rangers at this point. Lots of power in that lineup, lots of young power in that lineup, and if their pitching staff is healthy this year, that's going to be problematic. So I'm going to say Rangers are my number one right now. Athletics being my bottom. Who do we think is the standout player here in this division?
Ooh. Huh.
Here's the problem.
Go ahead.
I picked your boy last year as a dark horse MVP candidate.
Yeah, he wasn't.
And he was nowhere close to it.
Yeah, he wasn't there. I don't love that.
And I know there's a lot of young talent there. I hope he figures it out.
He's not there right now. I mean, he had 4.3 WAR. That's fine. That's not MVP.
No,
that's
it's not.
That's good. But that for what we need out of him, unfortunately, we need more.
You need Trout levels. I think Trout's the obvious name. If he plays the whole year, how can it not be Trout? But I mean, goodness, the Rangers have a bunch of...
Yeah, I think so a name that's always around is Corey Seager.
Yeah, I think Seager's the way I would go.
I know he's hurt with an oblique, so I don't know what his deal is as far as being ready for opening day. But a full season of Wyatt Langford, he could be primed for big things. And that's concerning in a lot of ways, in more ways than one. As far as Houston goes, they obviously have Yordan Alvarez. Look no further than him at the heart of that of that order. So those are in Seattle. Yes, it has to be Julio. That's really all they have.
Yes,
in that. That's all they have offensively as far as a name. You want to talk about lineup control? I'm going to get there. I didn't want to make that the lead, but after we hear our preview there, we'll get to their roster construction lineup or lack thereof. But and as far as pitching goes, this could go a lot of ways too. The Astros have a ton of pitching. Framber, Hunter Brown turned it on at the end of last year. The Mariners have 5 workhorses in that rotation.
Your pitching staff's the best.
I'm going to toot my own horn there. Yeah. But do we finally get a healthy season out of Jacob deGrom? And if so, is he Jacob deGrom? I don't want it to happen.
I mean, look, it's such a fascinating storyline because he did not have a lot of time back. He looked like he was going to be deGrom again, but I mean, how many games did he actually throw?
Who?
deGrom between his 2 injuries.
Oh,
you know what I mean? How many? It's not a lot.
Over the last, holy Christ, where are we? Games started. So since 2022, he has started a total of 20 games.
Okay, man.
11, 6, 3. You go. Oh, Jesus. Going even further back since 2020 was COVID, right?
Yeah.
2021. So 15, 11, 6, 3.
Jeez. Yeah, 6 and 3. I mean, you got to get more than
I hear
5 starts average. All right, so I think that I mean I'm interested to see who he is because he just hasn't pitched. It's hard for me to be like he's going to be legit because of how little he's thrown the baseball. But hey, stranger things have happened. He was an elite talent when he was actually playing.
Yeah.
But if their season teeters on him being good, that's not a good thing for the Rangers.
Oh, true. That's a whole nother conversation. Yeah. But I think we've said enough to this point. I would like to get into it because I need to get to the Mariners. I need to let some stuff out.
Okay.
And I don't want to do it yet. So we are starting with the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. I fucking hate that name.
You know what's really funny? If you say the Los Angeles Angels, it's technically, if you translate it, it's the Angels.
Well, all right then. Yeah. So
sorry, fun fact.
Unfortunately, we've reached the point in which, and I'm going to come out and say this is our last one. This is the last one you're going to hear. This is the last one we're actually recording. We tried our damnedest to make this happen. But unfortunately, we do not have anybody from the Angels. So you're going to hear just Andrew and I give a go at the Angels. I already have them as the worst team. So I'm not going to be convinced off that. So Angels fans, you missed your chance to convince me to take you out of the 5 spot. I am sorry, but I'm not. So if you want me to start, that's fine. Let's go through the Angels. Did I already screw up the alphabetical order, or was Angels first?
You know what?
Okay.
It's fine.
No, Angels was first.
Yeah, Angels is fine.
A-N.
You're doing good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, we're good. Go on.
Yeah, okay. Anyways, so Kachiki, good pickup.
What was his name?
Kachuki. I don't know how to say his name. Kikuchi. See, that's why I don't like saying it.
You were wrong twice.
Kikuchi, I think, is a good arm to have at the top. That it's better than they've had in a while when it comes to actual starters. We know how much you love Kyle Hendricks. I say that sarcastically.
Please throw him. Please, please give him the baseball every 5 days.
I mean, Tyler Anderson, Jose Soriano. I mean, look, this starting lineup's not, or starting pitching is not great. Jansen does add stability at the end, but he's towards the end of his career.
They've also got Ben Joyce, who's a flamethrower. He's had some, I think, control issues because he throws so goddamn hard.
Yeah.
But to me, I didn't like the Jansen signing for them because it was just let Joyce be the guy, right? Let Joyce just be your closer.
But it might be that they're trying to, because Joyce is still pretty young. I mean, he's 24, 25. So, I think that Jansen just kind of pushes him more. It is what it is. I think
fine. Give me more Kyle Hendricks and less Ben Joyce. I'm in.
Okay. I mean, it is what it is. But I think Joyce does overtake Jansen eventually, right? So that end of the bullpen's pretty sturdy. I kind of already talked about some of these players that are out there. Logan O'Hoppe or O'Hop, I don't know how to say his name, but I think their catching is pretty damn strong. Obviously, you've got the ace up your sleeve with Mike Trout. If he's healthy all year, you're going to get MVP caliber numbers because that's what Trout does every single year.
Yep.
So him alone carries these guys to win games, right? And it's tough to bet against him, especially if he stays healthy.
We don't care about spring, but he's got a 1.39 OPS.
Okay. Yep.
We don't care.
Don't care about spring, though. Solera adds protection for Trout because that boy's got some pop as well. I just think this lineup has a lot more high-end talent than, say, like the Athletics. They're not going to win 80 games. Hell, they may not even win 75 games because it just, for whatever reason, the Angels refuse to invest. And Mike Trout is like, yep, I'll just play here forever. I just like playing baseball. I don't need to win. Strange demeanor, especially for someone who's so good at but it is what it is. What do you got, Chris?
Mike Trout is not someone to overlook, right? He's probably going to play a little bit more right field this year to try and conserve him somehow. I guess we'll see how that looks, what that looks like, and if that actually works in the big picture. And if so, that's a hell of a case study for future, stars or outfield stars to see how that works. But clearly they're going to go as he goes. But yes, they have Jorge Soler. Does he protect him? Sure, I guess. But I'll walk Mike Trout all day to face Jorge Soler.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
Right?
Yeah.
So nothing scares you. Taylor Ward, I like Taylor Ward. Serviceable Major League Baseball player. I would trade for him if I could.
Yep.
Luis Rengifo, just kind of a utility type guy. He had a pretty good season last year. Let's see. Yeah, he had a 2 WAR. That's fine for me.
Better than you.
Way better. Yohan Moncada, don't like that move at all. I know they're just trying to see what he's got left. He's still a hair under 30 years old. Maybe they find something. I doubt it. I think he's washed. I wanted him to be good. He's just not going to. I like O'Hoppe and Nito. He's going to miss a few months to start the year.
Yeah.
His injury was really weird. It was like shoulder. Then they waited a really long time for that to happen, but he's a star in the making. Went 2020 last year.
Yep.
And he's still young. I think he is. He's 24, just turned 24.
Yeah,
so
Nito needs to figure out how to get the hell out of Anaheim.
Yeah, eventually. Do not
Los
do the
Angeles
Mike Trout thing or wherever they are. And then Noah Schonel, I don't know. He's 23. He's young. He came up really quick.
Yeah.
He came up in the same year, so he had all last season, but he came up the same year he got drafted. That was a whole thing. So we'll see. But nobody there. Joe Adele, we're still waiting on him. Again, he's past prospect status now. He's 26, or about to be 26. I don't...
He's a name.
Yeah.
And
a name alone because he was a heralded prospect for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
So I don't like the lineup. I don't think... You have Mike Trout. Fine.
Yeah.
I'll pitch around him and I'll deal with Jorge Soler.
Yeah.
and Ohapi and Nito, and give me the top 4, maybe top 3, and then that's it. I'll live with beating this team.
Yeah, no,
pitching.
I'm with you.
I like Kikuchi, but he's your ace, and it goes downhill from there. Tyler Anderson, I think he had a decent. He's had a few like mixtures of really good seasons. Yeah, he had 3.1 WAR last year. I'll take that out of my 2 starter. But then Kyle Hendricks, very bad. Reed Detmers, we're not sure still. I think he fired a no-hitter a couple years ago last year too, and then just fell off the face of the earth again. I was better than him last year in terms of his WAR, negative 1.1. Travis d'Arnaud, I don't even know what the deal is with him right now. Like, is Soler, I don't think, plays the outfield anymore. So
no,
d'Arnaud's
he'll be DH,
but so then d'Arnaud's just a backup.
Yep.
So he won't play every. Okay. Yep. So be it. I guess me. No, Sean. Yeah, he's done. Whatever. I'm just going through the lineup here. Rendon, he's gone. See you later. They've got some young guys, and they can make a case to come up and play. So Christian Moore, second baseman, just got drafted last year. He's got a chance to make the team opening day roster out of camp. Also had a chance to start second base depending on what they do. Oh, you know who else they got? Tim Anderson.
Oh.
Remember him? Yeah.
Oh,
they're
really?
giving him a stab. Yeah, so there's a chance they're going to put Tim Anderson in the starting lineup over Christian Moore.
Oh, wow.
And that's right. I just don't let Christian Moore play at this point.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm might be getting mad over something that's not actually happening, but my understanding is
he fell from grace
Moncada
too.
and Tim Anderson are going to be in the lineup while they make Christian Moore watch, and that's preposterous to me. They do have a couple pitchers. Caden Dana, he came up towards the end of last year, and then another name that I am familiar with. Whether or not he's good is another story. Where the hell did he go? God damn it. I didn't write it down either. This is why we need Sam Aldegheri. I don't know. That's all I got. He's okay.
He's their lefty.
He's supposed to be good.
Yep.
But nothing jumps at me. Okay, you keep saying Kelly Jansen at the back of the rotation. Cool. Well, they have to be winning for him to actually matter.
100%.
So I don't think that's going to happen often. I don't think that they're a very good team. I want to get more into the A's, and maybe I can, or Athletics, whatever the hell we want to call them, and have that conversation maybe of that race for the bottom. But right now I'm still anti-Angels, and I've got them 5th, and I'm not moving.
Okay. Well, I still think they're ahead above the Athletics, so we'll
see.
We'll see where we go from there. All right. Next, we will look at the Astros.
The Astros, we actually have somebody for this one.
We do.
Sorry, he caught me off guard there. This is our recurring guest. This is Cami Brown. So she is at Cami Brown 1984. She is the co-host of Juice Box Blondies, basically an Astros podcast. So let's see what she's got to say.
Hit it. Hey y'all, it's Cami, otherwise known as Astros Teacher on Twitter. I am joined tonight with my very smart and intelligent son, Payton. He's 13, and he is a huge baseball / Astros fanatic. He knows just as much about them as I do, so I thought it would be fun to get his insight on the season of the Astros. So first, we're going to talk about some of the changes that have occurred in the Astros roster in the offseason. So Payton, can you tell us, who did we lose?
We lost Bregman, Verlander, Presley, and Tucker, which is... Ooh.
Some big players that we've lost. So that's going to be different, and definitely going to see some changes with the new guys coming in. And also we have our most beloved player, Jose Altuve. He's switching from second base out into the left field, which is totally different. So far, I've liked what I've seen. He's been putting in the work. He has probably actually been a little bored. He's not seeing as much action in left field as he is on second base. So I think that's going to be interesting to watch and see how he adjusts to that. Peyton's going to tell us about some of the new players that we've acquired over the offseason.
So we got Isaac Paredes. He's a very good contact hitter guy. He's going to be very dangerous in the Crawford boxes this season. And we got Christian Walker. He's a very good power hitter over the past few seasons. And Mom, you want to talk about Cam Smith?
So Cam Smith is a prospect the Astros have. He's a young player who is very versatile, and he's been hitting phenomenally in spring training. I think it was yesterday, he had 3 hits in a game. He's just really impressive. So I'm really hoping we see him on the opening day roster because I think he is one to watch. So, and of course, we need to talk about pitching. Pitching is a huge part of baseball. And we did lose our ace Verlander, so that's going to be different. But we still have a lot of great guys coming back from the injured list that had surgery. So we have Hunter Brown. He has been doing really, really well. He's kind of what we call our baby JV. So I think he's going to do phenomenal. We have Garcia coming back off of the injured list. And of course, we have Lance McCullers Jr., who we have not seen healthy in forever. He is still learning how to use the pitch clock. That's how long it's been since he's been pitching. So it's going to be interesting seeing how pitching looks this season. I'm just hoping everybody stays healthy. That is a huge part of pitching, is just staying healthy, especially with so many of them coming off the injured list. So we're both going to predict our breakout stars that are going to really shine this year for the Astros. So I am predicting Mauricio Dubon. Of course, we saw him last year when Altuve was hit in a hand from the World Baseball Classic. He did phenomenal. He's a utility player. He can play all positions. And I just think this might be a great time for him to really show his stuff because we're going to need help in the outfield with the loss of Kyle Tucker. So I'm hoping we can see him really shine. Payton, who do you predict being a breakout star?
I predict Jeremy Pena because he's kind of overdue for a good season. I mean, last season it was all right. It was shaky a little bit. There were some good parts, but he's doing really, really good in spring training with a .420 batting average, and he's doing phenomenal right now.
Yep. So I think that's going to be great, and hopefully he's good on defense too. So we'll see. So Peyton and I we both discussed if we think the Astros are going to make it to the playoffs. We're both thinking they will.
Yeah, probably.
I think it's going to be like last year where it's a uphill climb. We started out last year horribly. It was one of the worst starts of a season for us in a long time, but we climbed our way back up and we made it to the playoffs. So I'm thinking it's going to be a similar fight this year, just with all the changes and loss of pitching and new guys coming in. But I think if they work hard and, I think they could definitely make it to the playoffs. So, Peyton, you agree?
Totally.
All right. So don't give up on the Astros just because they've had a lot of changes.
Woo-woo.
They're going to do awesome. We're huge fans and we're excited. The baseball is starting in just a couple of weeks.
Let's go.
Let's go, Astros.
Woo.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.
Hit it.
All right. Thank you, Cami. So again, her ad is at Cami Brown 1984, but you'll see her giant name as Astros teacher. And thank you, Peyton. Surprise guest.
I'm about to say, Peyton, you're going to put us out of a job. Already really good at this.
Surprise
congrats.
guest. She did give me a hint that he might be doing it, but I did not know. I thought he was just going to give me like a sentence or two, but he was all over it. So. And now I can't be mean about the Astros. So I don't really love how that happened. But a lot of good points. So let's talk subtractions because they were big.
Big subtractions.
The biggest, Kyle Tucker. So just as big as he was for the Cubs, he's just as big of a loss for the Astros. Yeah. And while he... in the grand scheme of it, everybody's like, oh, he's the, third wheel. He's kind of unheralded. He made this roster click from the back end, right? He was the guy you didn't have to worry about, kind of made stuff happen. Alex Bregman, almost the same thing towards the end. Yeah. He was still very good, kind of unsung. He's still a fan favorite. That wasn't the thing, but it was like, oh, he's not as good as he used to be. Well, okay. Well, maybe he's not MVP caliber guy, but he's still very, very good. They lost Kikuchi, who they got via trade. I know Cami called him ace Verlander. He's far removed from said ace status, in my opinion. They did lose. He's not on this list. MLB.com. Oh, no, he's on here. Ryan Presley gone from the back end of the bullpen. Kendall Graveman, Urquidy. Now, those are the subtractions. Kind of big if you think about it in the grand scheme of it all. However, the two major moves, Christian Walker, love it. Isaac Paredes. Love it. They got Isaac back from the Cubs there. And they did sign Brendan Rodgers. Who the hell knows what's going to happen with him? I want him to be good, but who actually knows?
Is he going to play second?
I don't know who's actually going to play.
Because if Dubon is going to play outfield, then and so is Altuve. Brendan Rodgers is the only person really left that can play second for them, I think. Because Paredes will be third, right? Mm-hmm. And shortstop.
Walker will be first.
Yep,
Pena's
and Pena is shortstop, as Payton pointed out. It's his breakout star. So, look, Christian Walker, love that pickup. I think he's a 30-plus threat, home run hitter. Paredes is obviously very talented too, but they don't. I don't think they make up the loss.
No, but them with the Crawford boxes is a problem.
That's fair. That's fair.
Pretty big pull. By the way, the Cam Smith prospect they were mentioning, he came in the Kyle Tucker deal too. That Cam Smith's supposed to be good.
Okay,
Anyway, Paredes and Walker will be, and Walker's a Gold Glove caliber first baseman, just as much as Payton is a Gold Glove caliber shortstop. So they've got a team. They are deep in the big picture of it all. Pena, Altuve is going to play left. Again, we'll see what happens. If Brendan Rodgers actually pans out, then it ends up being a good move.
Yep.
Walker, Yordan Alvarez, who's probably going to play a little outfield and mostly DH. Yanier Diaz, their catcher. And then their outfield's a little odd with Chas McCormick, Jake Myers,
Altuve.
Jose Altuve. They've got Ben Gamble on the bench. And then Dubon is really, as you said, a jack of all trades. He'll kind of play a little bit of everywhere. So maybe he's just that, plug and play. Guy needs a day off. He'll play third. He'll play second. He'll play a little short. Yeah. So I think he'll find a way onto the field at all times. And it also, on the face of it, he very well just could be the second baseman unless Rodgers hits the shit out of the ball in spring.
Yeah.
So that lineup is good and it's deep. Chas McCormick is your 7 hitter or even your 9 hitter. I think that's a good
lineup.
I think that's pretty deep overall. Their pitching, I'm torn because Framber's good.
Framber's good. Hunter
Brown had a phenomenal end of last year. His numbers don't indicate how good he was for the final stretch because he was that bad for a stretch.
Yes, he started slow.
Yeah, Spencer Arrighetti, he's up and coming. He's only 25. And
don't forget about the back end of their bullpen. Haters there still.
No. I did not forget about him.
Okay, just
I don't like seeing him back there, and he's very good. Brian Abreu, also very good.
Yep.
Who the hell else? Oh, she had mentioned Lance McCullers Jr. So let's back up. Pitching wise, name those starters. I guess Hayden Wesneski is going to get some starts, maybe to start the year or at the beginning of the year. I didn't want to say. I felt like I said start way too many times there.
It's fine.
Luis Garcia, Christian Javier, and I guess Lance McCullers. They're all kind of working their way back from injury.
Yeah.
I know we're not. Hey, everybody's healthy, but these guys are actively injured and have been injured for the past year and a half.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
So, not sporadic. They've just been injured. What are they going to get from those 3 guys? Because if they come back as what they were, they have Ronel Blanco too. He threw what, a no-hitter? Did he throw a perfect game?
I think it was a no-hitter.
Okay. Anyway, sorry, I forgot about him. But if those 3 come back at a top-end percentage of themselves, their pitching isn't a problem. Not that I think it's a problem, but it just got better. They get a bigger boost.
Yeah.
And they're able to withstand some of these injuries.
They've got a bunch of guys, and if they perform to their best level, then they're a bunch of guys. I think Hunter Brown has potential to be ace status.
Yes.
Framber's good, but do I think he's ace?
Well, he is theirs.
He is their ace, but is he? Hold on. What is
4.5?
4.5.
That's ace.
That's not okay. That's not.
I could
bad.
give you that.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. So if Hunter comes into his own and Framber continues on that pace, that's a good 1-2 punch, right? Still some unknowns there. The Astros subtracted, but they did a very good job considering how much they lost to earn back. So And the Astros, like last year, slow start.
They're always going to be around.
But they figured it out.
You let them,
Yeah.
What do I say? I said it last year, and it happened throughout the season. They started slow, and it should have been choke them out.
Yep.
Take every game you possibly can, but take advantage when they lose, build your
Foot
lead.
on the throat.
And here
Yep.
they come, July. They make a few moves, right? Because they're always going to wiggle stuff around. Even though like as far as like salary stuff goes, they're not quite spending as much as people might want, but they're still savvy enough to make a few of those moves to improve the team. And ho hum, they win the division. They just blow by, right? It just like an unappealing division win. Right, because even when they made the playoffs, we're like, here's everybody watch out for the Astros. It was just like, they won somebody has to win the West was basically how it went.
Correct,
and they kind of just took it over at the very end. So it wasn't flashy on their end. However, if they weren't as bad as they were, they would have won that division by 10 games. I'm not saying they're going to be bad. I don't know if they win the division, but again, I think, I know you're saying the losses are big. They made the Paredes and Walker somewhat close that gap. And if all of those pitchers, I don't know what they're going to do when you have 8 starting pitchers that are ready. I don't know how that works. Maybe they could call the Dodgers and figure out what they're supposed to do. But I think that it is a good problem to have in practice.
Yeah.
But I suppose we're going to see what actually happens. What I'm doing while I'm talking is Bregman was a 4.1. I just want to see what Paredes was. I can't spell it. God damn it. It's spelled ISAAC. So he was 2.7. So you're right. They're not as good. They're not as good or better off without those guys. But I don't think it's as big of a blow as we think. And I do believe that the pitching is going to be that much better, but I'm going to just say that they're not there's questions on the pitching because they are currently injured. I don't know if Arrighetti can get it done for an entire season. I don't know if Ronel Blanco could get it done for an entire season. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to eat my words here when I check his number really quick. He had 4.5. Well, Jesus Christ, he had 2.8 ERA. Okay, he was way better than I thought. I take that back. So, okay, well, if he's your 3 or 4, then we've got an issue. The Astros are always going to be lurking. I'm never going to count them out. I'm going to, at the very end, I'm probably going to put them where I put them just out of spite because I can't stand them. But
right.
They're by no means are they a team you're like, yeah, they're done. They're not. They're always around. They know how to win. Those guys have still been around. Jeremy Pena, to Payton's point, has a chance to really break out. And we're saying he hasn't broke out yet while he had a 4.1 WAR last year. I'm sure most of that was defensively because he's good defensively. 15 home runs, 20 steals, 70 RBI. If he improves offensively, he's going to be a 5 WAR guy.
Yeah.
And, they're better off for it.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Astros are a good team, and you cannot count them out. I think this is a 3-horse race, if we're being honest, right? So we'll see if I get swayed, because right now I said Rangers, but I think there's some good arguments to be made that the Astros could be a part of that conversation. So
I agree.
All right, moving on to the Athletics.
Yeah, we're not even going to call them Sacramento, right? They're just the Athletics.
Athletics.
This is another one we couldn't get anybody for. Yeah, just some bad timing. Didn't really have a backup plan on our end, so that kind of hurts. So let's try and run with it the best that we can. I don't know if they wanted to spend this type of money this offseason or if this rumored grievance from the Players Association made them do it, but they spent some money.
Yeah.
Was it in the right spot? Who the hell knows? But they paid up for Luis Severino, bolsters their rotation. They went and traded for Jeffrey Springs, maybe bolsters their rotation. He's coming back from injury. We don't know what we're going to get. You mentioned him earlier, Gio Urshela. To me, he is the ultimate, oh shit, he's available. Just throw him in the, he could start. Right? Like we could play with him. He's fine. Put him on the team. I'm okay with that. I think he played a little bit for the Braves at some point.
He did. Yeah.
He's just a journeyman. He's a Major League Baseball player. I'd take him on my team.
He's a Major League Baseball player.
That's exactly what he is, right? You're like, all right, I need a guy that can play third base or first base. Here comes Gio Urshela. That's way too much time on Gio Urshela, by the way. Jose Leclerc, reliever, also coming back off injury. So they took a stab on a few guys there, but they also spent money in the way of retaining top talent.
Yep. They
They gave Brent Rooker a pretty big deal. I don't have the numbers in front of me. I don't care that much, but they gave him a big deal. They also just gave Lawrence Butler a big deal. So begs the question, are they spending money because of that potential grievance or because they actually are trying to spend money ahead of coming to Vegas? We're not going to go there. We're keeping it positive.
Okay.
So with that said, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, I've been looking at athletics stats, and
Okay.
I think I'm about to make a case for athletics.
Yeah, and you didn't want to before.
I didn't want to before, but Rooker, Butler, Bleede, Soderstrom, and Langliers all are 20 to 30 home run hitters.
Okay.
I didn't realize that lineup had that much pop. I mean, to have that many guys that can hit 20 to 30 home runs is pretty impressive. They're going to be a minor league ballpark, which
might be a Homer Dome.
a Homer Dome for sure. Mason Miller, probably the most electric closer in the game right now. Young guy, throws at 1,000 miles an hour.
Cannon.
Leclerc coming over Rangers,
Yes.
right? So like Leclerc Miller is a hell of a combination at the end of the bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to make of their start. I mean, Severino, yes, okay, that's their ace, but they paid a lot to have him there. JP Sears is okay. Springs is okay. Like I just don't know what kind of starting rotation they're going to have.
It's not great,
But there's
It's okay.
a lot of really exciting young players. I mean,
Yes.
Butler's 24. Bleede, technically, he's a little older. He's
27.
27. Who else did I call out? Galoff is 26. Soderstrom is
23.
Three.
They got Jacob Wilson, Jack Wilson's kid.
Yeah.
He should be back up.
It's a young team. So, look, fuck it. I'm gonna go A's above the Angels at this point.
Okay.
I do like
been
what
convinced?
I see. Yeah, I think I'm convinced.
I like the lineup, right? They're young, and I know just from the deep drafts that I've been doing, this Nick Kurtz kid, first base, 22 years old prospect, he's supposed to be legitimate.
Yeah.
So he's coming down the pipeline. Does he bump a guy like Soderstrom or anything like that? I don't know, but he's coming. And if so, maybe somebody moves the outfield, whatever. But they'll take advantage offensively of the spot. But at the same time, the pitching is going to suffer a little bit because
of course
you're in more of a hitter's park now. Let's see, Seth Brown. They've got Major League Baseball players. How about that?
Yeah.
It's not like, who the hell is this guy? Seth
Yeah.
Brown,
I mean,
Gio Urshela, Luis Urias. He was a Mariner.
But they're all real young.
Yeah,
for the most part.
And then but that's what you do. Your core. They have here. Even Langliers, he's 27. He could count. So could Bleede, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and Brent Rooker. So
Yeah.
everybody 27 or under. Brent Rooker, who's an all-star,
Yeah.
your all-star, and then you fill in your couple holes with Gio Urshela, Luis Urias, Seth Brown. Veterans. I'm
Yeah.
okay with that. And then I don't know if he's gonna make the team, but they have Esteury Ruiz, the guy. He's just fast as shit.
So fast. Yeah, he's a lot of fun to watch.
So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, their pitching has a lot to be desired.
Yeah.
Severino, Sears, Springs. Who knows what the hell we're getting from Jeffrey Springs? I don't know much about Mitch Spence at all.
Yeah.
I thought this guy's name was Johnny Peralta, but it's Johnny Pareda. He's their backup catcher, supposedly. Who else? Ken Waldachuk. That's a name, but he's hurt right now. Kind of going through the list.
Yeah.
Joey Estes. They just I think they got. Where did he come from?
No idea.
Okay, but he's a name. I've heard Dallas Braden throw his name around a lot. So they've got enough. The pitch. So we want to be excited, but if we're taking the clear approach, their pitching isn't good.
The pitching's bad. And look, also too, you've got to throw in, as much as I hate it, the off the field drama, which the A's had a lot of it last year. I expect it though. I mean, there's rumors that they didn't start players because they wore like wristbands that were anti-selling the team, all this kind of stuff, right? So that's going to play a factor. I wonder what kind of factor it plays in now. They're actually paying players, so that's good. But I mean, I think we've both said we don't want anything good to happen for this ownership group because they've kind of shown that they don't care about, the fans of this team that they own. So that sucks. But also the A's are a traditional team that, I mean, have been around for a long time that you want to see be good, right? So I'm definitely torn there, and I wonder what kind of impact all the off the field stuff is going to have being in a minor league stadium, and what kind of fan turnout they're going to have. Like, I mean, it'll be interesting.
There's a lot more than baseball happening.
There's a lot more than baseball
around
happening.
the Athletics right now. But even last year, though, some of these guys performed, these younger guys, amidst all that was going on, right? With way more emotional last year.
Yeah.
With everything happening, all the, call fanfare, but all of the, events that were happening to bring some
like the
old-timers back.
anti-sit-ins, all that kind of stuff.
There's so much things going on, and maybe it does happen a little bit this year. Maybe there are some sort of protests, whatever. I know they already kind of angered a couple fans with the, I think they have the, I saw it as a patch. It was like Viva Las Vegas patch or whatever. The commercials you see about Vegas, whatever that logo is, I think is on there. So that didn't sit very well.
It's a middle finger to them for sure.
Yeah, it is. And why I say the money thing like kind of sucks is they could have spent this money over the past 5 seasons. Why are they spending it now?
Yeah.
Right. So
they don't get in trouble.
I get that. And it's still not lost on me.
Yeah.
Right. It still stinks, but they're going to play baseball. The players are going to play.
Yep.
They can't do anything about it. Brent Rooker signed everybody's signing extensions. They're excited to at least be a part of. Maybe they're the only team that wants to pay him. I don't know.
Yeah.
But who are you to tell Brent Rooker he's wrong for doing it?
Yeah.
Right. So, and not that anybody's doing that, but there is a lot of other stuff that's going to happen. I do think it's not going to deter them enough to finish above the Angels. I said that really fucked up. They're still going to finish above the Angels.
Okay, that's what. Okay, your sentence.
Yeah. I know.
All right, cool. All right,
I got it.
We're back. We're on track. We're on track.
Anything
but
else?
they're not. Are they going to challenge the other 3? Okay.
It's a race to the bottom.
Okay.
It's 4 and 5. It's his own race.
Yep. Okay. All right. I'm with you. All right. So let's move on then, Chris. Who's next?
It's Tom, baby. All right. We're doing the Seattle Mariners. We got Jake from his ad is at Raise the Trident. So again, out of the echo chamber, let's see what Jake's got for me. It better be good.
Hit it.
Hello, my name is Jake from Raise the Trident on both YouTube and Twitter. I appreciate Coach's Son's podcast for entrusting me in providing the 2025 season preview for the Seattle Mariners. The offseason leading into 2025 was one of the strangest yet in recent years for the Mariners, as the front office was shockingly dormant. The first of the 2 major league acquisitions was veteran infielder and bench piece Donovan Solano, who is a solid hitter and serviceable defender who gives the Mariners some help in a weak infield. The second was a returning Jorge Polanco, who will now man the hot corner for Seattle. Fresh off of one of his worst offensive seasons and knee surgery, Polanco will be one of the largest question marks on the roster. As for the rest of the offense, Julio Rodriguez will be looking to take a step forward from his step back season last year. The hope is he can finally produce that MVP level season that is expected of him. Rodriguez will be flanked in the outfield by Randy Arozarena, who will be playing his first full season with the club, and spark plug Victor Robles, who will try to show that his incredible production from June through September of last year is not a fluke. Platinum Glove winner Cal Raleigh will once again be behind the dish, hopefully hitting bombs and commanding one of the best pitching staffs in baseball. Behind him, Mitch Garver will once again step into a backup DH role, hoping to bounce back from a miserable season last year. As for the pitching, the rotation was the best in baseball, and they're all back. In a rotation full of potential Cy Young contenders, Logan Gilbert, Luis Castillo, and George Kirby will be at the top, all vying to prove who the true ace of the staff is. Gilbert will be looking to replicate his All-Star and Cy Young finalist season from last year, while veteran Luis Castillo will need to be sharper than ever to counteract an arm that has a lot of miles on it, and Kirby will be looking to catch up to Gilbert, who leapfrogged him last year. And rounding out the rotation is Bryce Miller and Brian Wu. Miller added a cutter this offseason to be even more effective against lefties. His potential this season is sky high, and I think Miller is the player to watch this season. Wu's biggest goal is to stay healthy. Only pitching in 22 starts, it would be huge if he can get closer to that 30 mark. The bullpen will finally, as of now, see the three-headed dragon that we were supposed to see last year in Andres Munoz, Matt Brash, and Gregory Santos. Brash missed all of last year due to Tommy John, and he's slated to be back around the end of April. Gregory Santos only saw 7 innings of action last year, but has been firing on all cylinders in spring training. Last year, the offense let down the pitching more often than not. Finishing with 77 losses as a team, 31 of those losses saw the Mariners starting pitcher throw a quality start. And it's hard to imagine the offense being as bad or worse than the 2024 Mariners offense, which can give me hope that they could win more games this year. The PECOTA projections show the Mariners winning about 85 games, good for third place in the West behind the Rangers and the Astros. As a more optimistic person, I feel we can be more in the 87 to 88 win range, and will probably finish in the top 2 of the AL West. Thank you for listening to my season preview of the Seattle Mariners. You can go follow me and sub to me at Raise the Trident, and thank you once again to Coach's Son Podcast for having me do this.
Hit it.
Chris, I think I'm supposed to start here, but I don't think that's fair because it's the Mariners. So I'll hand it off to you. Did he do a good job?
Oh, he did a great job. I think he succinctly put it forward.
Okay. Question for you.
Go on.
I'm mixing it up. He mentioned you're a three-headed dragon, but he said bullpen. But let's talk about your starting pitching.
5-headed.
Gilbert, Castillo, Kirby. Who is your de facto ace? Pick one.
Logan Gilbert.
Gilbert? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It was supposed to be George Kirby.
Yep.
And, well, let's back up a lot. Supposed to be George Kirby. Gilbert took a huge step forward last year. And now Kirby might miss a little bit of time with the shoulder fatigue, kind of. Mm-hmm. It was like one of the reports are he feels fine when he's pitching, but it just takes him longer to recover. So they're not going to let him do that. So we're going to put Emerson Hancock probably in the rotation. He'll be our 5. But a guy that I trust a lot is Luis Castillo. I know he probably lost
a high strikeout guy, right?
Lost a little velocity last year. Got hit around a couple times. I don't love that. But I'm a huge Luis Castillo guy. I was very sad that he was in some trade rumors. But
I mean, he's the oldest of your group by 5 years.
Yeah, it doesn't take much. But yeah, Logan Gilbert's our de facto ace. The guys who we need to continue to step up and improve are indeed Bryce Miller and Brian Wu, as Jake pointed out already. Mm-hmm. Miller was more of a 2-pitch pitcher, threw a shit ton of fastballs. I'm not even going to say what I'm about to say. I'm going to move on. Brian Wu, need him healthy. And again, he was fine for 22 starts, but we need you all year because there is a bit of a fall off after him, but maybe Emerson Hancock could answer the door at the very beginning. Bullpen, to his point, we're excited. Matt Brash, we missed him all of last year. He's supposed to be back. Gregory Santos was one of the guys we got in the deal when we traded Suarez. So that's why watching Suarez do pretty well for the Diamondbacks hurt even more because we didn't have any Santos. And Munoz is one of the top closers in the league. I trust him with my life at the end of the game. I'm a big fan of Andres Munoz.
So your pitchers are studs. No doubt.
Yeah, that's where we're at.
I will say, looking at all your pitchers, you guys only have 2 lefties, period.
Oh yeah, our
starters and bullpen,
and our lefty in the rotation is Gabe Spire.
Spire's a lefty. Yep, and there's one more.
And I don't even know. Saucedo. I forgot he was still there.
Yeah. So those your 2 bullpen guys are lefties. So like if you guys have a lefty heavy lineup batting against you, that's tough.
We don't care.
Okay,
that doesn't bother us.
That's the only hole I can.
We outweigh that. No,
it's the only hole I can find with your pitching staff. Yeah, everything else is immaculate.
Not a lot there. You want to talk about the holes? You want to talk about the problem that they didn't spend any hard-earned any money on offense.
Yeah.
Anybody, they didn't get better. They brought back Jorge Polanco, who we're just going to hope is normal, which he's coming back for an injury. They hit a lottery ticket on Victor Robles.
Yeah.
I don't know how the hell they did it, but if he's anywhere near what he was last year, that's the best signing they've had in quite some time. But he's already here. We're asking for more. We have Randy Arozarena. We like that. We love Julio, obviously. J.P. Crawford, he's going to have to step the hell up because he wants to be the captain, wants to be a shortstop, wants to say he's not going to move from shortstop no matter who we get. Well, you better step the fuck up, bud. It's time. I like you. I have no problem with you. I will root for you forever. You're my captain. But I'm going to need you to step it up a little bit. Cal Raleigh, no ill will. Keep doing your thing, bud. He's got command of this pitching staff. I have no problem. Our first baseman's Luke Raley. I don't love that. I don't love our DH situation of Mitch Haniger / Mitch Garver. Mitch is squared, and they're
not been good.
Nope. We had every opportunity in the world to sign a second baseman. We didn't. So we're going to roll out Dylan Moore every goddamn day. We got like 106 prospects down that they just won't. You know how the Orioles call everybody up?
Yeah.
We're the opposite. We're the anti. But we also don't fucking trade any of them.
Yeah.
So they just rot. Henry Ford, whatever the hell, Harry Ford has been a prospect for the Mariners for the past 3 years. You've heard about him, right? I've talked about him a lot.
Yep.
No.
Stay down there.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Is he coming up? I'm not sure. Like, what do you mean? Like, is he good? If he's good enough, he should be on the team. If not, get rid of his ass.
Yeah.
And vice versa. So Cole Young's supposed to get some time at second base, but they're not going to start him up there. Colt Emerson's coming up the line. They're not going to start him there. I'm trying to see if they have anybody else that's like injured off the rip. I mean, it's really George Kirby. So that is a blow to the start of the season. Can't come out slow. But the whole is the lineup.
Yeah.
And they have names. I could give you Julio, I could give you Randy, I could give you Robles, give you Cal. But then the cliff's bigger than most cliffs.
Yeah. So I was going to ask, like, I mean, obviously your boy Julio took a step backwards, right? So who's the real Julio?
I mean, he still finished with a 4.5 WAR last year.
Yeah.
So if that's his floor, I'm okay with that.
That's fair.
And that was a bad season in the grand scheme of things.
The one thing that you can be encouraged by is I think last year was a bad season. I think that's from your offense. I don't think you can get worse than that, right? And so if that's the case, that's what we're hoping for. Like, that's the worst you guys can be. Then this team has a lot of potential to be very good, right? Because your pitching staff is that good.
Yeah.
If your offense can figure at least some things out, then you guys are going to be a problem, right? And so I think that's where the Mariners have the most inroads. Like, hey, we can't get any worse. And if that's the case, then there's a lot of potential for us to win 89, 90 games if our offense turns it around. Like, you don't even have to be that good. You just have to be better. And if you can be better, your team's going to be tough to beat because your pitching is just so damn deep.
Yeah, but it's a shitty way to live. Because it's a bad way to watch baseball. Because you're watching, and if Luis Castillo gives up 2 in the third, you're like, well, this is going to be
game over.
Not game over, but this isn't going to be easy.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
You're struggling. Everything's a struggle. And I swear this team gets like a runner on third base, runner in scoring position with no outs, and doesn't score them more than any team I've ever seen in my entire life for the past 3 years. Doesn't matter. New Year, same team. So I'm not going to dive into that stuff. I do think the lineup's a problem where you're asking for a lot of guys to overperform. As a homer, I'm going to have them first because the rotation is that good. You can't argue me there.
No.
We've said it and we're getting towards the end of these previews, so we've discussed practically every team at this point, and every team's like, oh, they have a top X rotation. They have a top X rotation. This is the most confident I feel about a top X rotation. You could say what you want about the Boston Red Sox. The Mariners have a better rotation.
Yeah.
That's it. So the Dodgers, I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't know if I could take them down. But this is without being a homer, without homer glasses on. This is a top 3 rotation in Major League Baseball, bar none.
Yes, I agree.
And I feel like we've said that a lot about a lot of it. Right, the Red Sox. We had the Yankees at some before the Cole stuff.
Cole news,
right?
yeah.
But we keep naming teams. You're like, oh, they have a good rotation.
Phillies,
they have good. Yes,
yeah.
And the Phillies are good too, but I think that's a conversation.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think like top 5, right? You're definitely top 5. You're debatably top 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and definitely,
that's good enough.
Definitely top 3.
And
How about that?
And to put it succinctly, that's good enough to I changed it. Sorry, that's good enough to finish second in the division, win 85 games, and miss the wild card by 1.
Yeah.
But that's still not good enough.
Look,
that lineup has to do more. 676 runs. I was trying. It wouldn't let me sort it. 670. I mean, 600 runs isn't a thing. Like, you can't be doing that.
No.
You scored 4 more runs than the St. Louis Cardinals, who we've agreed stink.
Bad.
6. No, wait. 6, 7. I'm doing really bad at this. 6, 7. They scored 16 more runs than the Washington Nationals.
Oof.
That can't happen.
Oof. Yeah. Now, and you guys have players that can do that, and you just did not play last year. Again, I think if you're in the AL West, every team should be afraid of the Mariners. They should.
Yes.
They really should. Now, if this is the team, last year is your team, then you're going to suffer, right?
Oh, yeah.
But the hope is that's the floor. For whatever reason, we just had a funk. Now pitching's going to come down to earth a little, but hopefully
We just get better. We don't get worse.
hopefully batting comes also rises up and it evens out, and you guys are going to be a problem.
Least runs against in Major League Baseball last year, tied with who?
Of the White Sox.
Least runs against in baseball, tied with who?
Tied with who? Oh, shoot.
Least runs against. So best
Against.
pitching, if you will, I guess.
No, I got you. Not the Dodgers. Last year, Red Sox?
No, the Braves.
Braves. Oh, look at us.
How about that? It's kind of a layup the way I proposed it, but however.
No, hey, wow. Okay, cool.
Yeah, how about that? All right. I'm done on the Mariners.
Yeah.
The lineup's can hold them back. I need everybody to overperform. Lineup wise.
I don't think you need them to overperform. I think they need to come back to center. Because they
lineup.
Yeah, they need to. They need to come back. Oh, you think they're that bad?
Ceiling.
Do you think your team is as bad as they were last year offensively? Is that the identity?
What am I expecting to be different? Wait, the guys.
I'm asking you, Chris.
The guys are who Julio can improve, but who else? Victor Robles played out of his goddamn mind. Do I get that? Victor Robles? Okay, cool. There's 2 guys. Cal Raleigh has been doing his thing.
What about Randy?
I like Randy.
How do you play for you guys?
Fine.
Okay. I mean, you need more. Yeah.
But Mitch Garver can't hit 200.
No.
Mitch Haniger can't hit 198. I don't even know what he hit. I just made those up. But it wasn't that good. I'll look it up right now real quick.
I need you to tell me how much better you were for the Mariners than those guys.
All right. I was 0.2 WAR better than Mitch Haniger. He hit 208.
Okay.
And Mitch Garver. So I was wrong on Haniger, but not by much. I had them flipped around. I was better than Mitch Garver too. Collectively, I was better than both of them by 0.3 WAR. Mitch Garver hit 172 last year.
Okay. Wow. That's bad. That's real bad. Okay.
Yes, I expect them to be better than that, but what redeeming quality do I have from there?
That's fair.
I can't even be like, oh, wow, remember that 1 week he had? Right? You can't even say that.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, who knows?
All right. I'm done.
That's enough Mariners
You
talk.
got me mad.
All right. So let's move on to the last team in the division. It is the Texas Rangers. Chris, who do we have?
Texas Rangers, we've got a re-entry from last year. This is Kyle Smith. He's at Smilin, SMILIN_Kyle on X and Instagram.
Hit it.
So let's talk Texas Rangers 2025. Look, we didn't get it done last year, defending the championship, but you know what? We're on the right track for this year. Let me tell you why. We got Jacob deGrom coming back. We got Tyler Miley healthy. We got a rotation who can sustain and go throughout the year. I think where we're really going to turn it around compared to last year is the bats and the lineup. I think Wyatt Langford is the key to this cog. Last year, he didn't do too well coming out of the start, but I think now he's got a full season under his belt and probably sitting around the 5 or the 6 hole. I think he can really turn the lineup over and get it to Marcus Simeon, get it to Corey Seager. Hopefully Adolis bounces back. I think really the big question mark for this year is the bullpen. We lost Jose Leclerc. We lost David Robertson. We lost Kirby Yates. We'll have to see how it pans out. Hopefully the rotation can sustain it. But the bullpen's really what's going to get boiled down to. I think the West is winnable this year. I think there's a lot of parity. I think the Astros run is over. It's going to come down to the Mariners. It's going to come down to us. I think the A's are a little bit of a dark horse. But when it comes down to it, give me the Rangers this year in the West, probably coming around 88, 89 wins. But looking forward to it. Glad baseball is back. Go Rangers. Let's get back to the promised land, baby.
Hit it.
All right, Rangers. Listen, Chris said this like 3 times during this preview. You guys didn't hear it because the mics weren't on, but he's like, this team is so good. And Chris, you're correct. This lineup freaking smashes.
Lineup's a problem.
Holy crap. I mean,
and we're talking, we went through, at this point, this is the very last team we're reviewing.
Very last team.
This is the last team you're actually going to listen to us review.
If you listen in order. If you listen in order.
Yes, if you listen in order, this is the last team you're going to listen to us review. And so many times when talking about an order, we're like, oh, they're 1, 2, 3. They're 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
Cliff. There ain't no cliff. Maybe a little hill, but not really. I still don't think. I agree. I'm just saying, some might be able to make the argument that there's a little hill, but man, they are going to. We're going to get into the rotation here in a second, but lineup wise, this is how they won a World Series.
Yeah,
we are going to score a lot of runs. We're going to come at you and figure it out. And then we just have to piece it together on the mound in bullpen, and we will, because we only have to we could give up 5 runs because we're going to score 7 or 8.
Dude, I'm trying to find holes. I think 1 through 8 is sick. Like, holy crap, man.
I mean, I'm not looking at it in a batting order perspective, but I'm just going to name the guys I'm looking at. I don't know if you have the order, but I'm just looking at Marcus Simeon, Adolis Garcia. He has an oblique, but he'll be fine. Jake Berger, who they just added.
Yeah, Berger,
who's going to do very well there. Wyatt Langford, who, after looking, it said, oh, he wasn't that great. He had a 3.9 WAR last year.
That's not great.
Started, yeah, right. That's a problem. Josh Jung, who's presumably healthy, a very good third baseman. Corey Seager, MVP candidate. Evan Carter, he's only 22 and a half. A lot of people, dynasty baseball, fantasy baseball wise, are a little down on him because it's a back injury. But he's 22 and a half. He's got plenty of time to figure it out. Jonah Heim's their catcher. They have Kyle Higashioka as a backup, so they're fine there. Jock Peterson's their DH.
Yep.
I'm trying to. Leody Tavares is more than serviceable. I think he started a ton of games last year. I'm looking at their bench now. They just have guys.
It's wild. Like it's like, yeah. I mean, there's not a cliff. I mean, look, I think their weakest link might be Tavares or Heim, I guess. But again, 1 through 8.
Well, Tavares doesn't even start. He's not even on the.
Oh, okay. Who's their starting center fielder then?
I don't know.
Okay. Well.
Well, Evan Carter.
Okay. Whoa. Shoot. Okay.
Yeah.
That sucks, man. This team's good.
But that's why I said Tavares played so much because Carter was out a lot last year.
I mean, this team's nasty.
They got Kevin Pillar too. Good Lord.
Yeah.
So that's a major league player. He's the worst player that we named there.
Yep.
And you're like, okay. If Kevin Pillar is the worst player on my team, I'm pretty damn satisfied.
Yeah, look, and he was talking about how they have bullpen question marks, but there's a name here that I see that, it's going to solve all their bullpen woes. Jesse Chavez.
He is
42
He's
years
going
old.
to sabotage himself so that he just ends up in Atlanta. I don't understand why he just doesn't become a coach for Atlanta.
He pitches terribly everywhere else. He comes back to Atlanta and he's a
post-playing career, he isn't the bullpen coach for the Atlanta Braves. He's done everything wrong.
They got Luke Jackson over there too, which is interesting.
Is there any I know I touched on Langford earlier. Is there any other one player you want to talk about for a tad at all? Or are we just going to say these guys are all good? I really don't see a hole. The only take that there could be is Hey, Marcus Simeon's getting old. Maybe he stinks.
But he played so
doesn't.
good last year.
Yeah, but he's been good for every year.
Yeah. Look, this team.
He had a 4.1 WAR, and that was his worst in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
7-1, 5-5, 7. Hey, if we like opposite 7-1, 5-5, 7-4, 4-1, he's probably due for a 7 WAR season. Good. Screw me,
that.
right?
Love that.
So. Yeah, I'm just saying, going down the line, Adolis Garcia, he didn't have a big season last year. He was kind of not very good. Let's see this 4 WAR that he had. Oh, all right. He only had 0.3, so screw him. He stinks. He's the hole.
What
Pitch to him.
What was the last year?
0.3.
The year before that. Where's the year before that?
Oh, way better, I'm sure.
Yeah, I want to know.
I think he's a 4.2.
Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah. Anyways, Rangers are really good.
Lineup's good. Pitching.
Okay, Evaldi,
Yeah, fine. John Gray, serviceable starter.
Sure.
I can't have him as your 2.
Mailer, who we mentioned.
Well, he's coming back.
We'll see what happens when he comes back. And then, of course, the big question mark is DeGrom. If DeGrom is...
I can't have
dude,
it.
if he is if he is 75% of the DeGrom we know, it's the Rangers, man, by a long shot. You know what I mean?
I love it. Well,
because that lineup is just so good.
Well,
that
let's
lineup
not
is so
forget that Kumar Rocker's having a pretty solid spring. If
Oh, I
I'm not
forgot
mistaken.
Rocker was there. Okay, yeah.
He's further down the list because I think they haven't locked him into anything yet.
Which makes sense.
Oh, he is not having a good spring. I take that back.
Okay.
Yeah, he
there we go.
stinks. But sure, let's put him in. We like him sucking. No, but he's supposed to be really good, and they still got Jack Leiter. I think maybe one of them's got to be doing well, right?
Is that Al Leiter's son?
Pretty sure.
Nice.
And they were the Vandy boys. They got taken
right.
together.
Yeah.
Jack Leiter was not good last year. He's doing pretty well this spring, I would say. 8 innings, 2
But
earned.
we do not put stock in spring.
Correct. None.
Okay.
But last year, he had an 8.83 ERA in 35 innings.
Not good.
He was not good.
Yeah.
So if he comes back and he's figured some stuff out, which thus far in spring, it's the right direction, another problem.
Yeah.
And so those guys, I'm saying if they just raise the floor of that rotation, right? And Cody Bradford, actually pretty solid as well. I'm not going to talk. I don't know what their bullpen's going to look like.
Yeah, their bullpen's the biggest question mark. Look, the starting pitching's got question marks, but they've got guys that can do it as long
they're
as
going to
they
score
come back.
7 runs a game.
Yeah.
But that's what they did when they won the World Series.
Correct. Yeah, they scored more runs than everybody else by a long shot. So, all right, Chris, we have now talked about all of the AL West. Do you still think that your Seattle Mariners are going to win the division? Because I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, I am not backing off my Rangers choice. I think Rangers still take it. I think Seattle's 2. I think Astros are 3. I think the Athletics are way down there 4, but better than we thought they were, and then the Angels. So I flipped my my bottom. So
am I allowed to just say that both the Mariners and Rangers make the playoffs? Can I say that?
No, absolutely not.
All right, Mariners win the division.
Okay, there you go. I need you to, with your whole chest.
Yes,
Chris.
I said it already.
Okay. All right, so
I'm just not coming off it.
Mariners, Rangers,
and I think they
Astros.
both make the play. What? Yeah. And
Okay.
then Mariners, Rangers, Astros, A's, Angels.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm with
that's
you.
where we're at.
Okay.
Logan Gilbert, Cy Young. Screw Garrett Crochet.
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it for your sake too. I mean, that's the only thing that's going to give you guys a shot, right?
No. Well, and yeah, there's a lot.
There's a lot.
I'm done. You're gonna make this go way longer than it needs to go.
So anyways, everybody, thank you so much for listening. Please give everyone a follow and a listen. Their tags are going to be in the show notes as well. Tell them thank you. They gave their time to us, and we really appreciate it. Until next time, thank you so much for listening to all the divisional previews. My name is Andrew.
And I'm Chris.
And this is the Coach's Sons Podcast.